Today we're here at GameDay Sports, home of Upper 90 Football Club. They just put in a 9v9 field, and we're going to use a B110 to water it.
Let's go!
Our sprinkler cart was stowed on the stop bar, so I unhooked it from the stop bar and lowered it to the ground. Then we installed our sprinkler gun on the cart using a little Teflon tape. Because our customer has 60 psi, we installed the 8mm nozzle, which was a perfect match to his psi and GPM. And then we connected our 1.5-inch cam lock hose to the inlet of the machine. These are sometimes a little difficult to lock on. I didn't skip gym day, so I got the job done. Below the inlet is our drain. We turn this counterclockwise to close the drain off. It is very important to do this with no water pressure to the machine. Then we turn the valve behind the pressure gauge to the on position. This switch on the sprinkler controls if the gun stays on at the end of its run or turns off at the end of its run. If it is to the left, the gun will continue to operate even when the machine is stopped. If it is to the middle, parallel with the fitting, the valve will close and the sprinkler will stop. Then we pushed our spool valve in, which supplies water pressure to activate the diaphragm valve right below the sprinkler. Then we lifted our paw rod and pushed it to the left to disengage the reel so that we could pull out our sprinkler cart. I gave the reel a little turn just to make sure it was disengaged. I unwrapped the chain and hooked it to our lawn tractor. Ensuring our paw was disengaged and our reel could turn freely, we pulled the cart all the way out with our lawn tractor. Then we re-engaged our paw and made sure our paw was seated in our driving gear, which is a silver gear that runs around the edge of the spool. I gave it a little turn just to ensure the paw was seated. Then we went and turned the valve from the water source to the on position to supply water to the unit. Our pressure gauge was running at 60 pounds just as we expected. Then we checked to ensure our paw was engaging with the driving gear and the machine was turning. You can see the bellows drive system discharges a small amount of water during its operation, so we hooked up our soaker hose to spread that water across a larger area. We made our way down to the sprinkler cart to check out our coverage. We were getting about a 55-foot stream, creating an overall diameter coverage of about 110 feet. We ran this down the center of the soccer field, but on this 9v9 field we would likely do 2 overlapping passes. To compensate for some wind, we loosened and rotated the stops in the gun so that we were achieving a little bit more than 180 degrees in our sprinkler rotation. You can adjust your speed of retraction with this knob. If you turn the knob clockwise, it will slow the machine down. Turning the knob counterclockwise will speed the machine up. We set this one to its fastest setting so that we could show you the automatic shutoff feature. As the sprinkler is fully retracted and comes to the end of its run, the striker plate will contact the shutoff bar, which stops the reel from retracting. The same striker plate will then press the backside of the spool valve. As we mentioned earlier in the video, if you have the sprinkler valve set to turn the water off, the water will now shut off. If you had set the valve to the left, the water will continue to run, but you notice the cart will stop retracting. We had our valve set to shut the water off. I then lifted our sprinkler cart back into the automatic shutoff bar for storage so that we could tow it to our next location. Thanks for watching our Kifco B110 setup video. This process is very similar for most Kifco B series water reels. Keep an eye out for more of our setup, maintenance, and repair videos.